number one wrong mistake people make is using the wrong color on your face as a foundation. So going a bit too dark, especially if it's darker, right? Because if it's much darker, it's going to cancel out lighting, which will make you look duller, and it won't match with your neck. Even if you go a bit too light as well, that can also be a problem, but going much darker with the skin tone will make you look older. So you always want to apply foundation that's about one shade lighter than your actual skin tone, just to avoid applying a foundation that's too dark, and that might make you look dull or older or tired even. Another mistake that most people make when it comes to their makeup is applying eyebrows that are way too dark unnecessarily, right? So you always want to keep your eyebrows as natural as possible. So what you actually want to do is keep your eyebrows as fluffy as possible, and that's by applying a very light weight to the brow when you do apply product, just so it's not too dark or too thick. So fluffy is always the goal. If you make the mistake of going too dark, you can always just blot your brows lightly just to remove some product and continue to fill in the gaps. Another mistake that people make when applying makeup that makes them look older is applying a concealer that's way too light, especially under the eyes, and over applying it like that. It's not necessary. You don't have to put a lot of concealer under your eyes, and you shouldn't go more than 2 shades lighter under your eyes. So just be careful regarding that. So as you can see, the problem with using a shade that's too light under your eyes, or a concealer that's way too light, is that it can actually draw attention to fine lines, especially under your eyes, and also textured skin, and also big pores as well, which is something that we obviously don't want to bring attention to. So avoid using concealers that are way too light for your skin tone. So as you can see on this side, I'm going to go in with a concealer that's got a bit more of a yellow undertone to it. I'm not going to also put too much. That's already too much, but just a little bit where it's needed. And that's it. So as you can see on this side of the face, I've used a concealer that has a more warm undertone to it, right? It's got a bit more of a yellow undertone to it to match my skin tone. And also the benefit of doing that is that it leaves a lot more of a seamless finish to the overall look. So it's not as obvious as we can see on this side, right? So always stick to going maximum 2 shades lighter than your skin tone when you do choose a concealer. So another mistake that people make when it comes to makeup that ages them is over baking and over setting. If you leave the powder on your eyes for too long, it's only going to dry up that under eye area. And if you're somebody that has fine lines, it's only going to make those lines more visible and actually make them sort of promote more fine lines just from drying out that skin. So what you want to do instead is apply a thin layer of the translucent powder under your eye and just blend seamlessly. Dust off any excess powder that's not necessary and lightly pat underneath your eye to create a more natural finish under the eye area. And whatever that's left over, you can gently apply it on the rest of your face. Another mistake people make when applying makeup that makes them look older is applying way too much blush and way too much lipstick. So the problem with this is that it becomes very distracting. The eye can only focus on one or two sections of a face. So if your blush is too heavy and your lipstick is too heavy, especially when they're so close to together with the same color, it can be very, very distracting and unappealing. So instead, apply the same blush but lightly on the high cheekbones of your face. And choose the lipstick to be the main focus of the whole look.
It helps the speaker lead his audience into the scene he describes by creating an imaginary picture. Usually, it's something that moves.
And one more last thing, another big mistake that people make when it comes to makeup that makes them look older, is applying lashes that are way too long, way too thick, and way too heavy. If the eyelash exceeds your natural eye shape, it's gonna look too dramatic and unnatural. So instead, go for something that's a bit more natural but still dramatic, but that isn't too distracting from your face. So there we have it, guys, a whole video on things not to do and to avoid so you don't look older unnecessarily with makeup. It's really, really simple. Sometimes less is a bit more. And yeah, leave your comments below and I'll see you in my next video.